Hello parents, this is Advocate Sandikta. I'm a life coach. I coach students and adolescents for their cognitive behavior. I also coach parents how to handle stress, how to manage their anger, how to develop, how to establish themselves as parent, and how they can help their kids. So today I want to discuss about parenting guilt. What is parenting guilt? So parents, whenever we feel like we have done something wrong to our kids, we feel the parenting guilt. Whenever we feel like we are not able to give appropriate time to our kid, we feel the parenting guilt. Whenever we try to discipline or over discipline our kid, we feel the parenting guilt. Whenever we are not disciplining our kid, we feel the parenting guilt. So what to do with this guilt? Do you want to live forever with this guilt, or you want to overcome? Like I have overcome this feeling with lots of awareness and little strategies with baby steps. Now I have a good relationship with my daughter. And every day we both are working on this. So I just want the same thing for you guys. So just understand what is parenting guilt. Parenting guilt is the feeling that you have done something wrong to your kid, which may or may not harm your kid, which can help your kid in his or her growing, or she or he will be a destroyed person with your behavior. So regardless of whether this is true or not, we all feel this. At some or other point of time, we have all felt this feeling. It may also arise from not being able to meet the expectation of being a perfect parent. This is very important for our society. Always be perfect. Otherwise, people will judge you as you are not perfect. So first, don't compare yourself. Never ever compare yourself with other parents. Every family, every society, every human being has its own way to deal with parenting style. Our society or the community definitely impact the parenting style. So never ever compare yourself with other parents. This is the first rule. So for new parent, becoming a parent to a baby is like moving towards a new state or place. Even after the excitement of parenthood, there is endless and seemingly difficult challenges that you might face in this first year. In the first year of your kid's birth, beginning 4 months are just like, what is happening, guys? Why this kid is crying? Why I am not able to feed the child? Why I am not able to take care? Lots of things. So being a new parent is a hard job, but it's not impossible to make yourself calm down or make yourself happy that you have a baby, yaar, and he or she is just look like you or your husband, and you are the best parent to your kid. You just need to remind it again and again and again. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Everything is in control. Just you need to remind yourself. And the deep breath technique 5 times a day is a best technique to make you calm. What is the next? Next is single parent. Being a single parent is like you are acting a father and a mother or a family to your kid. So this is tough. I understand that. Parents with fewer, who are the sole earner and who have the fewer resource, also feel the parenting guilt. When we are single parent with fewer resource and we are the single caretaker or caregiver, face more pressure to make sacrifices in either their professional or personal or parental roles. Single parent are also more likely to come face to face with limits of their capacity to fulfill each role and must make difficult decisions. And which is okay, which is absolutely okay, because your decisions are yours and you have taken those decisions in the benefit of yourself and your kid. So don't hard on yourself. Never be hard on yourself and stop judging. Don't judge yourself. You are doing the best. When as parent we have limited resource, when husband and wife both are working and they have limited resource who can take care of their kids, they also feel the parenting guilt. As parents, we often work long hours and multiple jobs to be able to provide the best financial resource to the children. However, when they are working, they tend to experience feelings of guilt of not being physically or emotionally present with them. And which is absolutely okay. It's okay. You need to remind yourself it's okay. It is absolutely okay. Parenting guilt may occur when parent feels torn between the responsibilities as parent and something else that is competing for their attention, such as work, other personal interest, feeling like you are never fully in either parental mode or work mode. You are always doing something wrong, always having a long to-do list, like you are only able to do the minimum to get by. You are juggling one too many things, not being able to enjoy time with your children, stressing over work and the status of your company or career, not having any time for yourself, not being able to do any hobbies, activities you enjoy, experiencing anxiety, depression, having trouble sleeping, eating, tired and stressed all the time, straining your relationship at home, at work, and with friends. Guys, believe me, all these feelings are just okay. As human being, we can feel. This is just a feeling, nothing else. You have not done any wrong things. You just need to remind yourself, I am not doing anything wrong. I am doing my best for my kid and I am the best parent. Another source of guilt is disciplining your kid, not disciplining your kid, over disciplining your kid. And sometimes we feel in front of other parents that our children are not behaving appropriately. What is appropriate? Sometimes we feel guilty when our kid is not behaving with discipline, with the decorum in front of others. We feel guilty, like we have not done the correct thing. We are not guiding the kid in a correct way, and we feel guilt. Everything is fine until and unless it is not affecting you and your kid. If it is affecting you personally, if it is affecting your kid in his or her self-esteem or confidence, then there is a problem. Then you need to think whatever you are doing is right or wrong. But feeling guilty has consequences related to emotional health of parents and children's general well-being. You are feeling guilty and you are behaving in a very weird way. You are yelling at your kid. And what is the purpose of all this? Is your kid is learning? Is your kid is understanding? So why we feel guilty and we behave in a very frustrated way? Guilt may lead parents to develop unhealthy discipline habits, like giving in to children when it's not in the children's best interest. For example, we are not able to give time, and to compensate that, we are giving some monetary benefits like some big toys, some expensive things. Does it help? Do you think it will help your kid in his growth? Definitely not. That means whatever we can do, whether it is wrong, whether it is bad, and ultimately we will be benefited at the end. Your kid will learn that thing only. So lighten your guilt by understanding that no parent is perfect, and sometimes you do what you must to get through the day. So, as I have already mentioned, just remind yourself, whatever I'm doing the best, and I'm the best parent. What are the tips to overcome it? First of all, remind yourself every time your kid is not a mini adult. Your kid is a kid. He or she is learning, and you are with them as a guide to help them in their learning. You are the guide, not the instructor. So, just be the guide of your kid. If guilt comes up around the expectation you have set for yourself as a caregiver, ask yourself if they're realistic. If I can really do this, if it is really possible. Try to refocus on what's important for you and your family and let go of other things. Don't think too much. Don't get attached to whatever you are doing. Don't get too attached. It's very bad. It has a very adverse impact on your relationship, on your kid, on yourself. Do your best to avoid comparing yourself to other parents. Never compare. Never ever compare. Remind yourself that you are doing your best and that there's no one right way to parent. The best caregiver for your children is you. Reading a motivational quote can be a great way to start the day. At the end of the day, write down all the ways you loved and cherished your child. Refocusing on how you support your children rather than things you could have done differently can help shift your mindset. Try to recall your childhood and decide whether you want the same thing for your kid or not. Try that. I have tried a lot. You must try that. Try to recall your childhood and just decide, do you want the same thing for your kid? Never use your power, physical strength, and superiority as adult to discipline your kid. This will impact their confidence, self-esteem, which may impact their behavior in future, which can lead to lying to you, hiding from you, being secretive, hiding emotions, and many more. Don't yell, shout, or give any type of corporal punishment to your kid. Rather, discuss and develop a consequential mechanism through a consequence list with your child. For example, if your child is not listening or arguing or throwing tantrum, then one of the easiest consequences is timeout or freeze. You may tell your kid to go to his room for a few minutes or freeze so that you both can have time of breathe. You can think positively and you can listen to your kid positively and he or she can listen to you. But the consequence mechanism should be of two-way process. This means whenever you yell at your kid has complete right to tell one of the consequences to you and you need to follow that. The list of consequences needs to be derived mutually by a parent and a kid through a discussion. This strategy develop a sense of equality in the kid and help him or her to build their foundation of self-esteem and confidence. Never threaten your kid. Never. Don't say anything which you are not going to perform or you are not going to do. That is, I'll beat you, I'll slap you, I'll leave you in the middle of the road. Do you want to do all this? Do you really leave your kid in the middle of the road? So why do you threaten that little poor child? Don't threaten. Sometimes I have seen that parent threaten like, I'll give you for adoption, I'll send you to hostel. Why, yaar? This will develop a sense of carelessness, lack of trust in your kid, because gradually your kid will know that mom or dad will never going to do it. They are not going to do this. They are just threatening. So they will take for granted. They will take for granted everything. And they don't trust. The sense of lack of trust in them will be huge in future. So you need to think. Here I want to share an example with you. In a family who were living in Japan, they have a beautiful daughter. It's a news article actually released in the year 2017 or 18. You can Google it. So the story was the kid was a little bit cranky and little bit indisciplined. So father got angry and he said, I'll leave you in the middle of the road. And the kid was not listening to him. The father got more angry and furious actually. And he actually leave that kid in the middle of the road. After 5 minutes, they return and they saw the kid was not in that locality. The kid was gone. And it took them 10 days to find that poor child. Because when we threaten again and again and again, the kids are feeling like, do whatever you want to do and I'll do whatever I want to do. So we as parents need to be very careful why we are threatening our kid. And definitely when they grow, when they are in their adolescent period, they do the exact thing. They threaten us. They will definitely threaten us. So we need to be very careful what kind of language, what kind of words we are using to discipline them. You all can read the story of that family of Japan in the Google. You will find in more detail, and which may help you in your to change your parenting style. So you can go through that story. And the most important thing is be kind to yourself. Focus on your self-care. Try to get some rest for yourself. It's important for you to take a break. Try sleeping when the baby is sleeping, or ask your partner or another caring adult to watch your baby while you take a break. Pause the pressure to be perfect. Man, just stop. You are already perfect, so just don't try to be perfect. You are perfect. Keep in mind that there really is no only way to be a parent. Style and approaches can vary. Also, all parents need help and support. And it's okay to ask support. There is nothing wrong in that. Connect with others. You may be tired a lot of time, but it's helpful to talk with other adults. You have tried, I understand. But again and again, you must discuss. Sometimes discussing it with others help yourself. You can get an idea through your discussion. Yes, I can do this. Let's do this. And it's not important that the suggestion will come from that other person. The suggestion can come from yourself, within yourself. And you are the best guide for yourself. So just discuss. Discussion helps. Use your helpers, engage your baby's older siblings as much as you can by encouraging them. You can use them. You can take help from them. They are appropriate and you can trust on them. You can give little tasks to the elder siblings so that you can take your own time. So you can do that. You can try that. If you have your elder kids, they can help you. Seek help if you need. Feelings of sadness, depression are common after having a baby. It's absolutely common. There is nothing new. Everyone feels the same thing. Sadness, depression, having a baby. If you had a history of depression before your baby was born, you may be at higher risk for postpartum depression. Find a parent group. You may find it helpful to talk things through with other moms in your neighborhood or online. Sharing your experience with someone going through the same thing can be a great relief because they will share their thing. You can share your things, and as I have mentioned, sharing or discussing things can derive a new strategy, a new way, and the way can come from you or from the other person. Always remind yourself, we are beginners. We have not learned the parenting style from our childhood. It's a new feeling. It's a new thing in our life. We are trying to heal ourselves, to learn. While creating a new model, feeling little bit exhausted, frustrated is normal as we are learning. An integral part of parenting, one that few of us were told about in advance, is that sooner or later we wound and disappoint our kid. We love them immeasurably, but we hurt them at times. We all have felt this. The reasons for this are legion, and it is painful fact to acknowledge. Usually, we seem to have our parenting blind spot in precisely the areas in which we were wounded as children. The very places where we need healing and support ourselves. These all too human limitations do not define our relationship with our children. Do not expect your child that he or she needs to be perfect as you were not perfect as per your parents. Don't do it. A loving relationship is not one in which hurt never happens. The most fulfilling relationship with your child is possible when it is regularly renewed through the telling, hearing of emotional truths. Guys, parenting guilt is very close to my heart because I have gone through that. And I can understand what you are feeling. And it's okay. If you want to talk, you can talk. You can write me on my email. You can chat with me. Or you can book a session also. I'll always help you. And I will always love to work for you. Thank you, parents.